When going through a divorce, you have to be careful what you talk to your spouse about.
So here's one of the things that we commonly get is I will do a consultation with someone and they say, well, let me talk to my spouse and see what they think about this and to determine whether we're going to get to an agreement or not. And it is universally a tremendous mistake.
Yes.
You should hire your attorney and make your plan and get a presentation package in place and ready to go before you have a conversation with your spouse. So here's what happens. You go and you have a conversation with the spouse and say, I want to do this with child custody. I want to do this with child support. This is what I want to do with property division. And they go, honey, that is the smartest. I completely agree. But let me put my hand on the Bible. I promise you, that's what we're going to do. Yes, yes, yes. You tell your lawyer to write that up and just give it to me. As soon as you give it to me, I'm going to sign it because that is the best idea that I've ever heard in my whole life. And then you go, awesome. Oh, God, I'm so relieved. Thank you so much. Then you go, ring, hey, I'm calling. This is Palmer Law Group and, got this. Oh, and I have a conversation. Okay, great. Well, we'll write that up. We will stay up for you all night. We'll put 5 people on it and we'll have this for you tomorrow. Or, maybe it's next week, but we even get it for you tomorrow. Normally, it's a week or two, but we'll get it for you tomorrow. No problem, because we want this deal to go through. And by the way, we've seen this go wrong every other time. So we get it to you, and then you get the paperwork done, and you bring it back. Honey, thank you so much for giving me this divorce, everything that we talked about. It's such a good deal for both of us. And please sign this. I'm not signing that. What? I'm not signing that. What do you mean you're not signing that? No, because I talked to my mother, girlfriend, best friend, guy, Google search, internet, ChatGPT told me not to take it. Whatever, anybody and everything, and all of a sudden they won't actually sign it.
Right.
But if you would have had the paperwork when you did the initial conversation and they were totally ready to sign it, they could have just signed it and you would have been able to take yes for an answer. Instead, all you got was an agreement to agree, which is nothing. There is no possible advantage to you except making yourself artificially feel good about it, thinking that you got an agreement when you actually didn't. The only way you get an agreement is to have the paperwork to get the agreement. So do you tell your spouse that you just hired an attorney? No.
Yeah.
We draw up the agreement that you want, and then we present it with you. We want to know exactly when you're going to present it, exactly how you're going to present it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be prepared for anything that might happen one way or the other, and we want to hear about it right after you've had the conversation with them, and whether them, not him or her, it doesn't matter whether it's a male or a female, and that is the best way to do it. So here's why people do it. Because they're so used to getting their spouse's permission for everything. But on a divorce, that has to stop and be broken. That's not going to continue to go on. And you don't need permission for that. You need to take some level of control and prepare. And again, you also have to make sure you hire the right attorney. But going for that conversation, you're completely ill-equipped to have that conversation. Because what are they going to think? You want to hire an attorney? No, don't hire an attorney. Because they're just going to be scared of it. There's this giant fear of the unknown and all these cliches about what attorneys are and what they're going to do, as opposed to the attorney, especially like us, who's going to try and get everybody through it in the healthiest way possible. Well, if you have the actual document that they can read and look at exactly what it is, then you're at least fighting about this and not the scared idea of what all it might be. So you have no advantage in having that conversation, and only potential disadvantage, because they could also say, yes, I swear to God. And then, yeah, good night. I'll talk to you later. We got to file right now and go to war. And I'm going to hire my own attorney and we're going to do all this because they're going to try and take advantage of me. It can only go bad for you. You can either do nothing to advantage yourself or it can go bad for you. So you don't say anything until and unless we are all ready. We have everything that we need. We've progressed as much as we can behind the scenes to prepare for the presentation strategy. Not just you talking to them. So, biggest issue that we see with potential new clients ever. Big issue. And we're making this video because it's so common. If we're sending this video to you, it probably applies to you. And you need to be really careful and probably not have that conversation, but hire us first. Let us do the background stuff. Because, you have to have a final decree anyway. So if we can start with that, that's what we want to do. We want to essentially declare peace and have the peace treaty ready to sign rather than talk about, well, we're going to sign a peace treaty in the future. I promise. Well, what is that going to be? It just leads to destruction. So we'll see you in the next video. This is the Lawyer Dana Show.